What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Oh boy, we're watching. A few things happening. Letting everybody know that we're here, baby. We're here. Watching the news right now in front of me. I'll show you what I'm watching right now. Let's go ahead and open up some of the things. Welcome. Look at this. 24 plus tomahawks use. We're getting a bunch of different 75 precision guided weapons. 14 GBUs, 57 bunker busters, bombs used. Like everybody's coming in right now with a bunch of things, of course. And we got a 194 XRP just about a couple minutes ago. One of the reasons that we saw and we discussed this at length over the last couple of lives, right? That after this, there was a big chance to go under $2. So nothing surprising. But we're seeing the first reaction of the XRP army as one whale sells. Let me go ahead and take a look at the 5 minutes right now. This happened exactly less than 10 minutes ago. Less than 10 minutes ago, this happened. So it's just the reaction of going to not 197. But in my experience, it's probably going to keep going down or go down again. I'm getting all the notifications right now. Look at this. All the notifications, Big X, Robinhood, Blowfin, everything. All the notifications are popping off right now. Welcome, guys. How's it going? It's early Sunday here in the U.S. Special live, obviously, as we are watching what the reaction is going to be. Yesterday, as everybody knows here, probably, the United States, started something, the strike on the nuclear facilities, demolishing, right? 3 facilities. And I saw that Iran is closing an oil port. So, yeah, I think we're going to be watching. We're going to be seeing a bunch of different things here. Iran parliament approves closure of the, that place, closing, blocking access to oil routes, meaning that there's a chance that oil is going to go much higher in price. I mean, nothing surprising, right? As you're hearing and you're seeing a bunch of different things. Bitcoin dominance going up at 66, guys. 66 Bitcoin dominance, exploding basically. What that means is that less people are buying altcoins, more people are holding Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin also, didn't go under 100,000, man. Oh, man. But it's close. It's super close. Look at that. BTC is super close to under $100,000. It kind of wants to go there. We'll see what happens. Got my juice right now. It's orange. So make sure you drop a like, fam. Consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell button. So for more updates like this, we're just getting everybody here and just trying to have a fun time while we go and understand that there's nothing we can do to stop this now that it's actually official. And, well, thankfully, we're not mega dropping right now, but we don't know how big or small this is going to become, right? Ethereum going to 2100 Ethereum right now. Couple minutes ago. So at around 8 a.m. or so, people started selling. Some people started selling at about 20 minutes ago. JD Vance posting a few things, the vice president. We'll take a look at that. Price of XRP. Price of XRP is something that you really, really are concerned about. That people obviously want to see good news about XRP. And believe me, guys, it's been a while and we're watching and we're waiting a lot. We're seeing when will XRP do much better. But, I mean, how many times we had this conversation? I mean, I don't even know how many times we had this conversation. But I told you guys, we get involved. Now we no longer have a SEC delay. Federal Reserve delay, Ripple case delay, tariffs delay, ETF delay. Like, dude, bunch of delays. Nothing we can do about it. Absolutely peanuts we can do about it. Right? Now we have war delay. War delay. So 2025. Tough. Tough, right? I feel dead inside. What's up, fam? Enjoy the delay. DCA 100%, baby. 100%. 100%. I'm just going in, right? With the money that I can afford losing. That's the way it is. 2026 is the year. I know, right? 2025 was supposed to be the year, actually. It was supposed to, but nope. Now, JD Van says, what's up, Lil? What's up, everybody coming in? Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Two thoughts this morning. The operation last night is an incredible testament of the American pilots and other service members from General Kane and General Kurilla on down. While the media has attacked the president's senior team and tried to solve fake division, last night would have been impossible without perfect coordination and discretion from the president's national security team. I'm incredibly proud of them, and I know the president is too. Right now, what we saw yesterday, and obviously it's going to carry all the way to today, Democrats and a lot of people in Congress are going to call unconstitutional this attack, and they're going to be issuing or filing for impeachment. So get ready. Get ready for more politics coming in. Chinese TV, if Bitcoin succeeds, we all gonna... Okay. Three minutes ago, yep. Roughly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this strategic waterway. I think I should go and pump gas today. I'm gonna do that. Just in case, right? We're gonna pump gas today. Bought more XRP at around $2 mark. Holding. Nice. Price down tomorrow even more, I think. Emil, what's up, buddy? Well, definitely, I think we're gonna have the world reacting. That's what it is. The world is gonna react to what happened, and as Bitcoin dominance is going higher, then I'm going to move this here. Fear, greed, 40%. So we're going to probably see more fear coming in. That makes sense. And I'm here trying to, see if we're going to actually see more blood on the street. Yesterday, I was waiting for something like this, but it didn't come once we came live. But now, coming in a couple minutes after. So let's take a look, fam. Links down below, guys, if you want to go ahead and make your accounts on BTCC and get ready for some awesome positions. What I've been saying consistently for the last, days, weeks, is that I haven't opened any long position. Could have opened a short, but there was no guarantees. The president of the United States told us within 2 weeks, just last week. So obviously he didn't wait for July 4th to do that or less, earlier than that. So now we're just kind of waiting over the last couple of hours for more information. But I think in the next 9 to 8 days that we have left for this month of June, I'll be very cautious, with your leverage. You could do that. Guys, there's a lot of people making tons of money, right? But understand that before anything, I will suggest to go on BTCC and try demo trading. Demo trading is the fun, non-live. You don't risk losing any money. It's just the platform's money. So that's what I like to tell people to train, to get used to. If you want to start doing leverage, it's not a bad idea. I just bought more this morning. A dish, got Bitcoin. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, Nelson. Good to have you, buddy. Welcome. Going back to April 7 lows. Like going from 217 to 195, that is the result of the United States getting involved. We don't know what's going to be the result of, the consequences of that. We still don't know. We're waiting on that. First one is this one right now. That's the first one. Let's go ahead and get BTC here on the chart. On BTCC. Look at that. Look at that, brother. We're looking at the 15-minute chart right now. BTC is dropping sexy, bro. Look at that. Whew. There we go. There we go. Bring the blood. Like, fam, subscribe to the channel. Links down below. Question in the chat. Question in the chat. Oh, boy. Are we going much lower? Yes or no? What do you think? Oh, look at that. Didn't know that. Pentagon says that is the largest B2 operation strike in U.S. history. Wow. Something to learn. 125 U.S. military aircraft took part. What? 125? Wow. And nobody knew. It's like we just saw the 6 B2s, and obviously each B2, you're going to have at least 2 F-22s or F-fighters, right? Guarding them, protecting them. Then you're going to have the tankers that we saw that there were like 20 or so tankers coming in, flying like days ago. So if you follow the clues, you already knew they were preparing for something. They already knew they were going to do it, of course. But no, they said nothing, obviously. Sing it, Oscar. Don't you know? Dump it up. You gotta dump it up. 100%, bro. What's up, Trinidad? Ramos, welcome. They really don't want to see under 100,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor right now is holding the line, bro. Is holding the line. 100%, that's what's happening. One of the reasons why the Fed didn't drop the rates, too much instability. TZ, you could say anything about Jerome Powell, but the guy is super data-driven, conservative, right? Now with this involvement, do you really think Jerome Powell is gonna be like, let's cut? I mean, not only we have tariffs, but we also have this. So I mean, we'll see how it changes the incoming cut or pause, right? Pete Hegseth spoke earlier today. What's that, Crypto Poor? Bro, let's get it. We still have fair value gap to close on Bitcoin. We got 194 XRP. Typically on Sundays, we have blood on the streets as far as late Sunday. Wonder if we're going to have more blood on the streets later today for Sunday Night Live. I wonder. Take a look at the latest here. Are you buying XRP now? Oh, no way. That is so bad. Crazy people.
Is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the American Air Force pilots who did an incredible job last night. The operation was really extraordinary. These guys flew from Missouri. They didn't land a single time. They dropped 30,000-pound bombs on a target the size of a washing machine, and then got back home safely without ever landing in the Middle East or ever stopping other than to briefly refuel. And of course, they did that in the air. So it's really an incredible operation, a testament to the power of American military. And I think what shows what can happen when you have that great American military in the hands of capable presidential leadership. What we did is we destroyed the Iranian nuclear program. I think we set that program back substantially, and we did it without endangering the lives of the American pilots. That's an incredible thing, and I think we all should be proud. Whatever our politics, we should be proud of what these guys accomplished. A very, very high impact mission under a lot of pressure. What we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war. What we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. But we want peace in the context of them not having a nuclear weapons program. And that's exactly what the president accomplished last night. I really think there are two big questions for the Iranians here. Are they going to attack American troops, or are they going to continue with their nuclear weapons program? And if they leave American troops out of it and they decide to give up their nuclear weapons program once and for all, then I think the president has been very clear. We can have a good relationship with the Iranians. We can have a peaceful situation in that region of the world. We have to step back a little bit, Kristen, and remind ourselves that we negotiated aggressively with the Iranians to try to find a peaceful settlement to this conflict. It was only when the president decided that the Iranians were not negotiating in good faith that he took this action. He didn't take it lightly, but I actually think it provides an opportunity to reset this relationship, reset these negotiations, and get us in a place where Iran can decide not to be a threat to its neighbors, not to be a threat to the United States. And if they're willing to do that, the United States is all ears.
Interesting. What's up, Craig? Appreciate the donation, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Now, those green candles typically are to liquidate shorts. What happens is that a bunch of shorts open up 100x positions, thinking that it's going to go much lower, right? Which is not wrong. It's just that traders know how everybody behaves, and those green candles, the only purpose is to liquidate 100x, 500x, 400x, 300x shorts. Once they're liquidated, then it goes lower again. Britain, interesting. H bar 10 cents. We got bread down, Punky down, Caspa down, everything, of course, down. H bar 12 cents. H bar got hit, right? Like every other altcoin right now. We're getting hit a bunch. So this is what happened, right? For our prices. Yesterday, I told you that if this started, we were going to go around this level. And yep, I was right. As far as the idea, right, of where things could go, I saw the 100% retracement, but I was just adding some spots, right? Because, I mean, my strategy is to buy and hold. Now we're under $2 as expected, you know, knowing the situation would happen as expected. Listening to Trey on Fox News. Go ahead and take a look at the 15 minutes once again. God bless. Good to have you, buddy. Welcome. welcome. Can't imagine how many longs got liquidated. What's up, Wesley? Yeah, bro. I can tell you, I'm not doing longs right now. I'm waiting. I'm not really rushing, right? Not really rushing for, like, I'm adding more than likely I'm adding longs. Spot trading. So the last 1 hour, we have 161 million longs liquidated. You cannot see right there, but it says the last 24 hours, we have 778 million longs liquidated. $355 million in Ethereum. So a bunch of Ethereum got demolished. Like even more than Bitcoin, bro. Ethereum is getting absolutely clapped right now, like completely, bro. XRP, we saw a $10 million liquidation the last 4 hours. 1 hour for XRP, close to $10 million liquidation. A bunch of people are, of course, long in XRP right now, thinking that that was it, but not necessarily. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. As they liquidate, others stack up, of course. $195, $195. What do we have? What do we have here? I mean, under $2. Do I have some? I have a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and, spot trading. Go ahead and get some. I got my last time that I got XRP was at 217. $100,000 Bitcoin, bro. So close. Ethereum is absolutely getting demolished. Solana to 128 right now. Sui 244. Top. I'm gonna go ahead a little bit of XRP at 196. Good. Just in case. Getting a little bit more. Why not? Chipper in the house. Ghost. Welcome, guys. Good to have you. Good to see you. Got yours at 221. You got some 199 Ave. That's nice. Good stuff. Ooh. Oh, well, that's exactly what I tell you right now. $875 million liquidated from the market in the past 24 hours. Yep. Close to $1 billion, which is, I mean, compared to other events. Remember, when Trump announced the tariffs, a lot more money was gone. Way more money was gone. It's not a bad idea to listen to this guy sometimes.
We know that.
I'm just gonna.
We know that we're
veer
alone
away
in
from
this.
that because Medvedev is a reeling drunk who is sort of.
Yeah, I just told that. Yes.
Imagine what Musk was saying that other night, where he claimed that Trump was on the Epstein list or whatever. That's Medvedev on a good day, on a daily basis. So whatever he says, the Russians are not going to help the Iranians with their nuclear program. The Russians have no desire for the
I agree.
Iranians to get
I
a
totally
nuclear
agree.
weapon,
Yes.
because that gives them leverage over the Islamic Republic. I did want to jump around the stage though, Amir, if that's all right with you, because we've got AJ, we've got Eric, Faith. I know you want to come in. So I mean, maybe we should jump to who was it? Wahid, did you have anything you wanted to jump in with?
Well, I mean, just first of all, IG Group, the UK spread better, already has markets open. So I'm just going to give them to you. The NASDAQ is down 280 points, around 1.3%. The Wall Street, i.e. the Dow Jones, is down 410 points. The DAX down 270 points, a little bit more than 1%. Hong Kong down the least 200 points,
So, Christian, good to have everybody. Welcome.
Oil, people have been talking a lot about that. It's up $6. That's 8.26% up. Gold is up 1.5%. You can see crypto live. Not everyone has access to the UK spread betting markets over the weekend. I do. Those are the ones. So pretty negative reaction. I would not say Armageddon. I've seen worse. I've
Lasted
seen
about
the
3
Dow
minutes.
down 900, 1,000 points on spread bets.
Why do you think it's not as bad as we thought? Is that because it's just an airstrike? It's not like a ground operation or something?
I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, two things. One is, first of all, there was a slight gap down when they said they're going to close the Straits of Hormuz. So at least we saw those announcements. But essentially, I think, markets had been discounting this, right? I don't think anyone was surprised that
I
this
do agree
would
that
sort of
it's not
happen
as
either this
bad
weekend or
as.
the next, but I think a lot of people thought it could be this
Not.
weekend.
It's
So
obviously
not like
down.
a surprise attack, right? It's like been
But it's not
well
terrible.
telegraphed. I think what will start moving markets is the unknown unknowns, right? So what would Iran do? What is the
Exactly,
response?
100%.
That kind of thing. And that could
That's what's gonna
range
move.
from a relief
But
rally
what could they do?
if it's like one and done. Like literally you'll see markets up tomorrow if there's sort of a dedante, or if there's just escalation. Obviously, I think these markets will continue to deteriorate.
I personally,
Here, can I
I'm a
just share some?
mixture.
Sorry, just some news. Just some news. Again,
Go
just
for it.
kind of go for from a regional perspective. I think there is a concern. This was sent earlier today, but this was Bahrain. This is an early report. But
So much for
Bahrain
the
has told
$2
70%
support.
of its government employees to work from home on Sunday until
No,
further
I mean we're
notice,
not that
following the U.S. attack in Iran,
away from the
according to the
$2.
civil service bureau. This is per Reuters. Local media also reports that Bahrain has set up 33 shelters. We're also seeing similar measures in some way, shape, or form done in Kuwait. So I think there is a concern from the region in the GCC countries that maybe it's closer to the Straits of Hormuz, but I think a lot of these GCC countries are preparing for a potential Iranian military response on U.S. military bases in the Middle East, even though a lot of those have been evacuated. Sorry, Peter, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, look, I think I try to balance between geopolitics and macro. I think from a macro investing standpoint, this is going to be quite significant because I think it's going to have more longer term structural impacts. But I think it's difficult to really judge the financial implications longer term, just because we're not sure on the security side, on the political side, what's going to happen with the Iranian response and everything like that. So that's sort of why I focused on that. You know what I mean?
Ben konuşacağım birazdan da.
Kurt, I think, sorry.
I
You know,
think Kurt's,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. I think he's mute on unintentionally muted. David, I see you're unmuted. Did you have something you wanted to jump in with? Or is David just ghosting? Okay. Not sure what's going on
no,
there. We've
I'm
got
actually
time for
here,
this.
but
I mean, so far
Okay.
we haven't heard from Russia or China
I
that I
don't have
have
much to add on the
seen.
economic
Nothing.
front, but I would just say that from an Israeli perspective, things may get difficult, but this was one of the most important moments
Oh,
in
look at
Israel's
this.
history, and it took away a
Marco
truly
Rubio
existential
finally
threat
speaking
that
since
every
the
Israeli has
attack.
been concerned about for a long time. So
Interesting.
I'm sure there will be unexpected developments. I'm sure that Iran wants to retaliate in a big way, but I think everybody who desires peace can be deeply, deeply grateful. This was the greatest act of nuclear nonproliferation in recent history. And just on a personal level, for my family, for my country, it's truly unprecedented. So, yeah, happy to answer any questions or dive deeper into any particular subjects. But this is one for the history books.
Yeah, I think he's certainly got the world talking right now. As I said, I don't know the difference between weekends and weekdays anymore. AJ, you've been on stage for a while. We haven't heard from
Basically, what
you.
you're hearing from the
I'd
U.S.
like to
government
go
is
to
that
you and have
this
your
is not a war
perspective.
against Iran.
I don't know, Israeli or anything else. What do you think this does for the U.S. relationship as well? Certainly Trump has come through as a staunch ally, which I think is going to alienate some of the Republican base.
What's
What's your
up,
thoughts?
Slim? Good to see you, buddy.
I
Welcome.
think people are drastically overreacting to the impact on the Republican base. If there's something that Trump has done better than any president since Reagan, it's to keep a base and a coalition in line. What we've seen from the online segment of the base versus the non-online segment of the base, there's actually been a couple of polls that were conducted, one in April, one more recently in early June. I think Chicago, one was from Chicago. I can't remember the actual outlets, but they showed heavy, strong support for preventing Iran from getting nukes. And if there's one thing that we can say about Trump, it's that when he sets a narrative in the base as to what's appropriate, the base almost always circles the wagons and rallies around them. And there's always a very strong reactionary, reactionary force against how Democrats react. And we're seeing a lot of Democratic, it's a single talking point. This is unconstitutional. This is inappropriate. I think you're going to see a lot of rallying around President Trump here. I think that there was very vocal segment of the base. It's like America first, America first, America first. Trump has done a good job, along with Secretary Hegseth, in the last 12, 14 hours at laying out the case as to why this was appropriate. And I do think people are going to follow along with that. There was at least 80+% support, according to both of those polls, of dealing with the Iranian nuclear threat. Above 75% were for U.S. involvement, especially given that there's no U.S. boots on the ground and there will not be U.S. boots on the ground. I just don't see how this falls apart or fractures the base. I just don't.
Well,
As
AJ,
for
just to be the devil's advocate, people are already claiming that this is an illegal act. There was no.
What we're prepared for is if they attack us in a maximal direction, first of all, we have got maximum defensive posture. I think that we're going to be able to defend as many of our people as possible. And of course, I'd encourage Americans to pray for our guys in the Middle East because, yes, they are under a significant amount of duress and a significant amount of threat right now. But then, of course, John, if the Iranians attack us, they're going to be met with overwhelming force. And I don't think the president could be clearer about this. If you look at what we did yesterday, John, we did not attack the nation of Iran. We did not attack any civilian targets. We didn't even attack military targets outside of the 3 nuclear weapons facilities that we thought were important to accomplish our goal of preventing Iran from having a nuclear weapon. So how Iran responds, I think, is ultimately the ball is in their court. But if you look at what we did, it was very precise, very narrowly tailored to our objective. And if the Iranians decide to expand this, then that's ultimately their decision, and the President of the United States will respond in kind.
I do. I mean, with everything that we have seen, fam, we all have our own opinions. We all have our own opinions, and I'm not saying that I got the right one, of course. But we're watching this over the last week and so, and they did have 60 days, right? 2 months, right? So I'm like, 61th Operation Rising Lion happens. And 7-8 days later, the U.S. is in this position of, hey, dude, so what are we going to do? Iran is not ceding to get a deal or stop or whatever. So obviously it's like, well, not an easy choice, of course, because anything that comes after this, well, the buck stops with Trump, but we'll have to take a look at the consequences. We didn't attack Iran. What? Sup, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. How's it going? Oh, I love it. It's like crazy. I was like, all XRP beholders be like, feel good. We feel good. Getting demolished here, but we feel good, guys. John 360 in the house. What's up, buddy? Welcome. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I bought the dip. Bought the dip, everybody. Under $2 dip. We got it. We got it. Feel good. Feel good. If we go lower, we buy a little bit more the dip. We just keep buying the dips, guys. That's reality. What's up, Dicky? Let's continue listening to this one.
So that's the three things they're talking about. They're very desperate. They're not doing well. And they kind of have, admitted that they are, they don't have the same power that they used to in the region, and they are desperate. That's how I see it, and I really hope that Israel continues what they have done. And I just want to say that the whole free world should thank Israel. A lot of the Western countries do not understand what Israel has done on their own, almost now by the hands
What's up,
of
Angel? Good to
Trump.
have you,
They've
buddy. Welcome.
gotten some major help also. And I just want to say that it's very important that we as Western countries understand what we are up against, and Israel has done so much to help the Iranian people, but also the same threats that we see in Europe, from Islamists. Now they are weaker, and it's all because of Israel. So thank you, Israel.
Thanks for that. I do want to jump to Kurds, because I don't think we've heard from you, and well, I think you're going to have an interesting perspective on this.
Benjamin Cohen
What are you
says
feeling
we'll
about this at
likely
the
see
moment
Bitcoin
in the
back at its
if
bull
you're in the
market
region, but
support band
generally,
soon,
anything
back in
you
the
disagree
mid
with you've heard so far?
90,000 range.
Is this to the Kurds in global politics?
Sorry, Kurd, can you hear us?
Yes,
You're asking, what's your
yes,
thoughts on the developments?
Interesting. I would like to hear his perspective. So, some idea that we could see much lower prices, for Bitcoin. We are close to under 100,000, and if we go under 100,000, then brace yourself. That's why I'm still leaving some cash in the side. DCN my way down. Why not? DCN the way down. We got about 1,400 votes. Are we going much lower? And a lot of people say yes. Kind of waiting for that big drop or so if we get one. We already have one, so already I'm buying the dip of that one. But if we get a more, might as well. Not a problem. We're here chilling. Get ready for 80,000 Bitcoin. Imagine, bro. Who knows? What's up, Nelson? Good to have everybody. Welcome. He has to lose 33% of the top, so it will be less than $80,000. We're almost down to 99,000 on Maxi futures. Look at this price of BTC. Buy the dip, bring the average price down. If anything, I'm down 230 to 208, average price down. Thank you so much for the kind donation, buddy. Appreciate it. And welcome. Welcome to the live, bringing you guys some latest updates. I'm listening to Marco Rubio right now, speaking with about Maria. You just have no idea what the other side is gonna do, right? So, how long will it take? Days, hours, weeks, months, years? We have no clue, guys. We have no clue. But if someone is telling you, to America, right? Threat for years and years and years, and they're trying to build a nuclear weapon. I don't think that's a good idea. Just saying. Losing 95% of portfolio by the depths. BTC was record 885K 3 months ago, but 100,000 is the best ever. So all good. Fox Tree, what's up, buddy? Good to have you. Welcome. I'm just surprised, bro, that Marco Rubio is in that position. Like, I've seen this guy for 10 years too, versus like, no, Trump is unqualified, whatever. Little Marco, and now he's the Secretary of State, right by his side, Oh, time flies, and things change. People change. People change. By the dip, Oscar. Yeah, we got it, bro. We got it. I got a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. I just always like to add, bro. I mean, under $2 XRP. You kidding me once again, bro? Market is more scared of a crash that they won't allow a crash to happen. I think we're feeling the flow right now. Crypto Dogs, somebody good to have you. There it is.
Are we now at war with Iran?
No, we're not. This is not a war against Iran. This is very simple.
With Iran?
No, we're not. This is not a war against Iran. This is very simple. 67 days ago, the President of the United States sent the Iranians a letter, and it said, you're not going to have nuclear weapons. You're not going to have a militarized nuclear program. Let's negotiate. I want to do this diplomatically. I want to do this peacefully. They tried to play him along the way they've played every American president for the last 35 years. And, the president told them, if we don't get a deal, which is what he wanted, then I'll have to handle it differently. And that's what he did last night. He handled it differently. But that was an Iranian choice. We didn't make that choice. They did. By playing games with Donald Trump, they made a huge mistake. And President Trump acted last night. And I think the world today is safer and more stable than it was 24 hours ago. And a bunch of these countries putting out statements condemning us, privately, they all agree with us that this needed to be done. They got to do what they got to do for, their own public relations purposes. But the only people in the world that are unhappy about what happened in Iran last night is the regime in Iran.
Have you heard from anyone in Iran, and are you expecting retaliation?
Well, if they retaliate, it'll be the worst mistake they've ever made. Look, we can fly in and out of Iran at will. We went in last night. The president sent our military forces from halfway across the world, went in, conducted this operation, left. Not a shot was fired against us. They didn't even know what had happened. By the time we left, the planes were out of their airspace before they finally started realizing they'd been hit. So it would be a terrible mistake if Iran retaliates. But that's not our goal. We are not declaring war on Iran. We're not looking for war on Iran. But if they attack us, then I think we have capabilities they haven't even seen yet. It would be a terrible mistake on their part. And frankly, it's not what we hope for or wish. What we want now is to ensure that Iran never has nuclear weapons. If what they want is a civil nuclear program where they have power plants like a lot of other countries in the world have, they can do that. That's the deal that's been offered to them. They rejected it. They played us. They tried to play us, I should say. They wouldn't respond to our offers. They disappeared for 10 days. And now, the president had to take action as a response.
And the response included strategic ambiguity. Can you walk us through the plan in terms of how it was deceptive?
Deceptive.
Are we now at war with Iran?
Oh, 99,000 Bitcoin. It's official. 99,000 BTC. Everybody, bring the blood. We waited and waited and waited and waited for a couple of minutes. And we finally are seeing more blood in the streets, baby. At last. Smash the like button, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome. Who's ready? Who's ready? We still are leaving some money on the table. I was born ready. Let's go, bro. Officially, a month and a week, a month or 2 weeks and 2 weeks above $100,000 gone. Officially. It is what it is. It is what it is. They really wanted to have that. They really wanted to have that 99,000, you know? Yeah, I mean, right now, meme coins are getting absolutely slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered right now. Pepe, bro. Pepe, Trump, SPX. Yeah. First thing that goes out of the window are going to be all the meme coins right now. These are great deals, guys. Thing is that we're going to have more deals. Well, you know. Made the mistake of selling my Bitcoin when it dropped. I'm not making the mistake again. My man, that is exactly what you're talking about. Love to hear that, bro. You know, the last time that we had a major dip was during the tariffs. So it was earlier in 2025. Came back all the way up and we passed all-time high at $111,000, bro. What's going on right now? It's the same thing, but as far as dips and sell-offs, right? Can we again see 80,000 or low 90,000? You know, that's the only reason why we're down in this case, because of what just happened. No other reason but that one. You also have to remember that July we have tariffs, right? I wonder if the United States, if they continue this situation until next month, there's going to be more tariffs delays, or they're going to start adding more tariffs, because that's how the US makes a lot of money too. Why are alts even falling? They're already down a lot. Altcoins don't have a floor. They just continue going down and down and down. That's the way it works with altcoins. Ethereum 2100 down, Solana 127 down. Bitcoin dominant 65, 66%. Don't you know, dump it up. You gotta dump it up. And don't you know, dump it up. You gotta dump it up. Thank you guys for joining us, even though we're not doing that well. But thank you so much for joining us, guys, and joining the stream and telling us in the chat how you're feeling right now. Appreciate that. I got nothing left. Was hoping to get paid at the end of the month before this. What's up, James? Bro, you're here with us. It's all gonna be okay. Price-wise, this is nothing. We're still very much up, realistically speaking. You zoom out. Zoom out and you're gonna find that we're still, doing relatively well. So no worries. For the crown, your average cost is 42 cents per XRP. So seen worse. Absolutely 100%. Michael, that's exactly what I just said. Long term, this is, we're still fine long term, right? 193 right now for the price of XRP, went to 192. Oscar, I was happy yesterday when I reached my 10,000 XRP goal. Now I feel like, what the? Dude, it happens, man. Like I said, nothing that's going on right now, it's the fault of XRP over Bitcoin. If it was, if this was dedicated fault of XRP or Bitcoin, or like XRP is a rug pull, it's a scam, and Brad Garlinghouse is a liar and he's just scamming people, at that point, I'll be very sad, disappointed, and I'll be probably doing something with my XRP, right? Because I'll be like, what in the world is going on? This is terrible. But no, bro, for a lot of people, this is the chance that you wanted to come in. Because we're going to come back stronger, right? FY. For the crown, 100%, bro. You guys have an X account. Don't forget to follow me here on X. Keeping you the latest updates and more info. Keep it going. Ethereum finally pumps. Another war in the Middle East.
At midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of a plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy, a deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa. The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications. Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings. Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications. This type of integration is exactly what our joint force does better than anyone else in the world. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command Area of Responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Esfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the fourth and fifth generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package was supported by U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command, U.S. Cyber Command, U.S. Space Command, U.S. Space Force, and U.S. European Command. As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats. We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped two GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well, with a total of 14 MOPs dropped against two nuclear target areas. All three Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets were struck between 6:40 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's about 2:10 in the morning local time in Iran, with the Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation. Following weapons release, the Midnight Hammer strike package exited Iranian airspace and the package began its return home. We are unaware of any shots fired at the package on the way out. Iran's fighters did not fly, and it appears that Iran's surface-to-air missile systems did not see us. Throughout the mission, we retained the element of surprise. In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included, as the president stated last night, 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon. I know that battle damage is of great interest. Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all three sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction. More than 125 U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers, multiple flights of fourth and fifth generation fighters, dozens and dozens of air refueling tankers, a guided missile submarine, and a full array of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft, as well as hundreds of maintenance and operational professionals. As the Secretary said, this was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following 9/11.
Wow. What just happened is the Oscars are like a movie, right? The grand movie for any military personnel. It's just incredible, you know. Couldn't even see them. B-2, $2 billion packages. Oh boy. That's a big package, right? So it's going to be a lot of greatness, and that's obviously a successful mission. And, well, we'll have to see what comes after that as we're waiting, as we see the price of Bitcoin and the price of many, many, many different Top Gun. Dude, that's like watching Maverick, right? Like, I mean, that was a fictional movie, but this was real life. And you can tell that you want to penetrate really well. The only plane you got is the B-2 stealth bomber. The ones that when you're playing at a game, right? One of those college nights or big Super Bowl, whatever. Wow. First time they used the penetrators, the GB something. First time. Wow. Crazy. USA. My fam. There's my 1 hour time. Man, bro. Crazy, brother. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Are we going to go much lower? 74% say yes. 25% say no. Nice. Why don't you cover SPX? Well, because I like to focus on XRP and other ones right now. But I wish the best to those holders, right? There's a lot of cryptos right there. Fam, before you leave, let us know in the comments. Once the live is over, drop a like, let us know. Links down below. Join me on BTCC. You know, there's a lot of greatness down there for you to get some positions. I bought the dip earlier today. Was feeling good. But I wanted to bring you some updates, keep you up to speed, of course. And yeah, I mean, this is gonna go to the history books, right? What happened, and we'll see what's next. But I wouldn't be retaliating if I was Iran, thankfully, obviously, right? But it's awesome that talking about crypto, right? Obviously, the loss of life and everything, that is terrible. But as far as crypto, what we talk about in this channel, it's awesome that what just happened didn't really mega crash the market. Only we did go under 100,000 so far and under $2 XRP, which makes sense. Makes total sense. Like, of course, we're gonna go to those levels of what just happened. But if you're telling me that this is the lowest point, let's say assuming that this is the lowest point, bro, you have no idea how high we're gonna go. You have absolutely no idea how explosive, no pun intended, we're gonna go up if this is actual battle and attack situation, bro. Oof, bro. Once we are actually start pumping, we're gonna be 2x in Bitcoin, 2x in XRP like you've never seen before, bro. So I'm telling you, I'm buying the dip, and what's ahead is gonna be so good. All right. Love you, my fam. Thanks so much for all the donors, the members, my moderators, my admins, the new viewers. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. We always come here with this spirit of having fun and education and reading and listening, right? Not financial advice, of course, but we just want to have fun and enjoy, man. That's what it is. We're a few people here compared to the millions and millions and millions of retail that are absolutely not caring about the situation or not caring about crypto, but we're here caring and buying the dip. What they're gonna do, they're gonna be buying at $3 XRP, $5 XRP, $4 XRP, while you guys are telling them, ooh, I remember when we bought at $1 XRP. Under 2. That always happens, guys. Okay? So just FYI. Major breakouts are coming in. Do not fear. Do not panic. Whatever happens, take it like a man, take it like an adult, and we should be fine. See you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Peace. And I'll see you at Sunday Night Live later tonight. Ciao.